Hey guys, Sammy here. Just wanted to give you a quick garden update. As you can tell, we have a lot going on right now, and we are also working on moving our compost bins. I say we, but that's been mostly Tyler. So I'm sure he'll have a different compost video come out at some point, but it's been a pretty quick process. We've been using pallets, and then I think he picked up some fence boards as well for the slats in the front. So just wanted to show you what we've had going on with our carrots. I just watered them, so they're looking a bit sad. We're about to have a big drought come through. I'm sure most of the country is, so hopefully we'll stay up on top of watering and everything will be good. But for a little carrot experiment update, this box here was the one that we did not prune, so we just let all of them come up, and then this was the one that we kept one sprout per hole. So it's a little hard to tell now because they're so pushed down, but this bed is much thicker. There's a lot more carrots and it's a lot taller, and then these ones are shorter. But, you know, we did harvest one carrot from this one and it didn't taste quite ready. It's a little tough to see, actually. If you look in here, it's a little tough to see if the carrots are poking through the soil or not. So that's something that we'll have to keep a close eye on. I think it's just because of this weed barrier. So we'll probably need to check a little bit closer than, you do without the weed barrier. But over here, our pepper plants are finally up and running. They are taking their sweet time. There's definitely no blossoms or anything yet, but the plants are still growing. Our cosmos are finally blooming. They're really beautiful. I love the color of them. And it's just this one plant right here that's blooming. So it's also the tallest one, so I'm kind of giving them some time. Over here is our buckwheat. I actually just harvested some. You can see the seeds are pretty good and dried. I took off these ones closest here. I just cut them right at the base and threw them in to the chicken run, and they are pecking away at the seeds. And then over here we have our strawberries. Been a little bit of a slow go. So far this year. We had a lot in the beginning and then it slowed down, but you can tell we have a lot of blossoms, a lot of fruit starting. There's a good bunch here, so should be seeing some more here coming soon. Over on the other side, we have our wildflower bed. I obviously did not get around to weeding the grass out of it and just kind of let it go. But we have a lot of alyssum, and then we have these really pretty white ones as well, which I love, as well as the yellow ones and some pink ones. I won't even pretend to know the names of all of the flowers because I definitely don't. And then we have one random blue one as well. So hopefully we'll have some more kind of peep through, but this alyssum is really like the most common. Our zinnia are in full bloom. You can tell that we've had a lot of Japanese beetles lately, just been eating at the leaves. We actually covered our apple trees this year because the Japanese beetles almost completely took out our apple trees last year. So clearly these ones were starving for water. So I'm sorry, zinnia, but it's growing and gotten lots of blooms. I need to cut some for a bouquet inside. And then we have our very interesting Black-Eyed Susan's bed. If you remember, we pretty much had no Black-Eyed Susans come up the first time we planted. So we planted again, and then as you can tell, we've had it come up 3 different times. So this one obviously sprouted first, and then we have second and the one in last place here. So we will have Black-Eyed Susans for a long time to come. I can already tell this one is going to have a lot of blooms. So I'm really excited to see how this one's gonna look. And then we have our big jungle bed. we've got a lot going on over here. We have a ton of kale in the front. We probably should not have planted as much as we did, but the chickens have certainly been loving it. I've seen some moths flying around, so you can tell, you know, we've had stuff eating the leaves. And I'm honestly not even sure what this is. This doesn't even look like kale. I bet this is just something that has just grown through the plant. I'm honestly not quite sure because the other leaves look like kale. So I don't really know what that is. If anyone knows, drop it in the comments. You can see we've got some bugs going on here. So lots of action going on. And then we have our humongous cucumber plants. Tyler actually harvested cucumbers the first time yesterday, and he got 19 cucumbers. I swear we had just looked the other day and they were still small, so they really do grow so fast. This year we actually pruned the blossoms for a couple of weeks or a week or so, just to kind of have the plant put more energy into the leaves, and it definitely paid off because it's obviously a huge plant. That's just one cucumber plant. So we've been giving lots of cucumbers away. Our lettuce is definitely at the tail end. You can see we've had some dying. It's obviously bolting. So we've actually been using it quite a bit. We've had some family use it for salads and things like that. So that's been really nice. And then it looks like Tyler transplanted a cucumber plant, and that's kind of hiding in here as well. So that should be perfectly timed. As this is ready to get bigger, the lettuce will be all kind of finished up, and this cucumber plant will also probably be dying out at that point too. And then around the corner here, we've also got our massive tomato plants. I was thinking about it earlier when I was looking at the peppers. Like, you know, these peppers are spaced out really far, and our tomato plants, which gets huge, are not. And I think we were going to prune it down just to one plant, and we ended up not doing that. So now we have a giant tomato plant. But I don't really see that many blossoms. There are a few, and then we have a couple of little tomatoes starting as well. We've got some hiding underneath here too. Looks like this one's actually getting a little bit of blossom rot. So something we'll have to keep an eye on. And then we have our corn. I love looking at this corn bed. It is so satisfying. Everything's almost the same height. And I think we had almost 100% germination. Tyler did have to go through and put new seeds in a couple of holes, but almost every spot has some corn in it. So I am really, really looking forward to that. I think it's just so nice to look at. And then we've got our pumpkin hiding over here on the side. We have one here. We planted probably 20 something seeds that Tyler had frozen. And this is our one that's doing the best so far. Coincidentally, among 6 holes, this was the only one that had some sprouts come up, and it had 2, of course. So we transplanted one, gave it lots of water, said a little prayer, and we've got a second pumpkin plant. So this one's a little far behind, but we've had a couple of leaves die off, but you can see it's got a couple of new ones starting, so that is looking good. And then over for our grapes, they are looking good as well. I think it's been pretty stagnant. Not a whole lot going on. It's just growing, getting taller. This one's got some new leaves coming off of the first branch that we want to go ahead and prune. We want to make sure all of the growth is coming off of this one here. And here we have our cantaloupe. It is growing really quickly, which is great. I'm so excited to get our cantaloupe. We've had a lot of blossoms underneath here already. So it definitely should be a good plant. Up here closer to the house, we have our herb beds as well as the blueberry bushes. So the sage is growing really well. I definitely need to actually plant it and get it out of that pot. We did go ahead and plant a small lavender plant that we got from Tractor Supply since our other one was dead and had not come back. So we're actually going to try and make some tea with the lavender this year. So that will be an interesting adventure. We've got some beautiful black-eyed Susans. And our rosemary is looking good. well, I'll leave that. Rosemary's looking really good. And then our blueberries are coming along well too. They're so easy to see, starting to turn blue, and we are going to have a whole bunch. We've also got even more on this one too. We actually have a blueberry right there, and it came off a little early, but yes, lots and lots of blueberries, so we are really excited for these as well. Well, thanks for tuning in, and as always, stay healthy from the Walker Family Farm.